We are thrilled to announce Metis is launching our Community Ecosystem Governance Program to truly uphold our mission of bringing blockchain to the people. As we move further down the path toward decentralization, the Community Ecosystem Governance Program invites our community to verify projects on the Metis network. While we remain a permissionless platform, we're introducing Metis governance snapshots to give our ecosystem back to the community and allow you to vote for the projects you care about most. Projects will be able to apply through our governance system for consideration, and through the voting process, the Metis team will empower the community to verify projects and inform our marketing and promotion decisions. In service of decentralization, we need your support to make our network the Web3 home for everyone. Be sure to stay tuned to our social channels to stay informed and cast your votes. Now is the time to bring Metis to the people.
All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here. I love that elevator music that Twitter provides. um, Good morning, GM. At least GM on my end, but it's always GM for the culture, as Prince likes to say. Prince, I see you on request for a co-host, and I'll add you. And as we wait for more people to trickle in, we'll just get started. So I'm Anthony. I'm an ambassador for the Metis network, and Metis is a layer two built on Ethereum that is focused on onboarding the next billion users, builders, and businesses into Web3. And recently, some big developments on the network. Chorus just did their public launch, which is the DAC portal, or the Decentralized Autonomous Company portal, that will provide tooling for any entrepreneur or business that wants to run a blockchain business and run it in a decentralized way. Um, and there's also Matrix, and Matrix is the reputation power system that rewards contributors to DACs. And so the Metis ecosystem and environment is now gearing up to offer its full package of tooling and products for traders, businesses, entrepreneurs, creators. And so it's a really exciting time. And this space we have every Thursday at 6 p.m. UTC. It's usually an open community space, but lately we've been using it for the Metis community governance process to engage and ask questions to community ecosystem governance projects that are going up for vote over the weekend. So this is our chance to DYOR and do our research and engage and get to know who the project is that we'll be voting for. Um, there is the Candidac forum that you can also ask questions before we come here. There are some questions this week. Rubic promptly responded to them. We may be going over them again today just so we can hear from them. And so, yeah, we're just using this space for the Mises community governance process. And thank you all for being here. And with that, I'll pass it over to my other hosts to introduce themselves before we get started. Go ahead, Ali.
Hey guys, GM. Very warm welcome to our weekly Metis Ambassador Space. I hope you guys are doing well and had a great day so far. I'm Ali, Ambassador and Community Manager with Metis and Matrix. I just want to mention that we co-host this space every week with my amazing co-hosts Anthony and Prince, and we invite projects that build around Metis, especially projects that are up for voting in the Metis Community Governance Program. As you know, Metis is all about giving power back to the community. So by talking directly to projects and teams, Metis users, Metisans as we call them, are in a better position to vote when it comes to onboarding new projects. Basically, the idea about this space is to make this an interactive session where our listeners can join in and share thoughts and learn from projects and ask questions directly firsthand to the team so that they can have a better knowledge about the project overall. And so if you have any questions or if you have any queries about Rubic, as we have our guest today, please feel free to raise your hands and join in the fun. We would love to have you. And For now, let's just go to my co-host Prince and see what he has for us today. Prince, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you guys. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Ali. Like Anthony said, it's GM for the culture, irrespective of your time zone and wherever you are. It's still GM over here. So GM guys, my name is Prince, Metis ambassador, and for those who are constant, listeners, which we appreciate you, should know me. We do this every week, every Thursday. So it's me again, Prince, um, your weekly co-host, Metis ambassador, community manager, and I just call myself I do everything Web3. So all right, so to this week we're going to be having crypto Rubic going for to become a community verified project, and so we'll be speaking with the team to know what they're building, because on Metis we like to have a good idea of every project that we have building on Metis, at least just for to carry the community along, which is because like I always say, Metis is usually 1% tech and 99% community. So we're a community here and we love to have crypto Rubic. So great, I'm just going to pass it on to Anthony so he can kick it off. Thank you.
Thank you, Prince. And yeah, as we do today, we're gonna try to get more of the community involved today. So we're gonna ask probably a less set of questions from the host, and then open it up, and then we can go back and forth like that. So let's pass it over to who's on for Rubic. I believe it's Colin. But go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. Um, to follow you guys there, good morning, also good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on where you are around the world. Um, my name is Colin O'Brien. I've been in the space as an investor since 2016, but I began working in the industry with Rubic back in May of 21. I've been doing public relations and marketing with them since. Um, and family man these days, and just trying to have that awesome work life balance. But I've been involved in sales and marketing throughout most of my career, and I've always been a lover of new technology. And ever since I figured out decentralized ledger technology, I've been hooked ever since.
Nice, nice, and I can say the same for myself. So good to meet you. Thanks for being here. Excited to hear from you, and thanks for introducing yourself. So I guess with that, you can just go ahead and let us know, break down Rubic for us, and let us know Rubic and what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So Rubic is a cross-chain tech aggregator for users and for app developers. So our vision is that Rubic's umbrella SDK will aggregate the best that Web3 has for cross-chain tech, from signals and oracles to decentralized exchanges and bridges. That includes NFTs, ready-made templates for those dexes, helping out lending platforms and token farms, and much more. So it'll help easily allow Web3 apps to connect into cross-chain regardless of what their function is. So right now, Rubic is aggregating 26 major blockchain networks. We have over 90 different decentralized exchanges and bridges, and we enable the swaps of over 15,500 assets. And all of this is done in one click. So our goal is to make crypto easy to access and make Web3 easy to access for the average person. And so, yeah, and our big goal this year, our big focus is working with app developers themselves to inject our SDK directly into their applications to enable full cross-chain functionality in this Web3 environment. Right now, we are currently servicing over 130 different decentralized applications with our SDK. Now, out of the 2,100 or so apps that are live in the Web3 environment, that's about 6% of the total dApps on the market. And we're hoping to expand that reach to 25% of dApps by the end of 2023, and then continue growing from there.
Nice, nice. So it sounds very comprehensive, and that's what I was most curious about is the what y'all aggregate, and it sounds like you aggregate pretty much everything. And so, just two follow up questions before I pass it on to my co-hosts for their questions. So you pretty much aggregate like all kinds of different tools like dexes, bridges, oracles. It sounds like, and then you also said NFTs. So does this mean people can like swap NFTs cross chain, or because I know that's still like a developing technology, so it would be good to know like if I have an NFT like say on the Metis network, I can swap this over to layer one Ethereum, or how does that work? And then if you could correct me if I'm wrong if about the aggregation of all these different toolings.
No, you're not. You're not wrong at all. That is the full suite. It's like a comprehensive tech suite for Web3. So there's a ton of work being done by all these different teams, and it's more than any one team can handle, to be honest. But you don't want one team handling it, right? That's the whole ethos of the space, is to have as much decentralization as possible, right? So no more. Like collected monopolies, right? That's the cool thing about Rubic, is we're decentralized by nature by aggregating all these different platforms and all these different projects and protocols. So the NFT bridges, to answer your question on that, we're going to be this quarter aggregating different NFT bridges. And then we plan to inject that into our multi-chain SDK in Q2 of this year. So essentially what we're hoping for is to give you like an example of how we view the Rubic SDK being used. Imagine you're playing a video game that is a play to earn game, right? And you have different NFTs that you can bring over into that game from another network. We want to be able to allow people to do that, because games are going to be built on a bunch of different networks. So are all these different applications, as they start to figure out what networks are going to be best suited for their application purposes. And we want people to be able to have a free flow of value between all the different disparate networks. So yeah, NFT bridging, being able to either purchase or transfer NFTs across chains, either L1 or L2 chains, that is the eventual goal.
That's awesome.
Beautiful.
Excited to see that. Go ahead, Ali.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. I would say, Collins, that is a huge use case for Rubik, I would say, because uh, this feature, this functionality is normally not available, and I must say it's a unique feature as well. So I just would like to expand on what Anthony just asked, and I would like to ask how do you since you guys would like to onboard new users, how do you onboard first time DeFi users? Like for example, if there is a user who types cross chain swap in search engine and wants to move from AVAX to Metis or any other chain for that matter. So is there a page where he can see the price and swap with a click of a button? I think while I was going through your website and documents, I, there was mention of such a feature. Can you please elaborate?
Yeah, we have our main application right now located at app.rubic.exchange. But the eventual goal is to have our aggregation tech hidden on the back end with inside applications at the application layer. So we've done a couple things, right? We've created our software development kit that can enable that at the application layer, and we also created a widget as well for projects and companies out there who would like to direct their users to be able to purchase a token or purchase certain digital assets they can quickly just integrate our widget solution as well, and put that right on their website, so people can access it on desktop or mobile device. But the onboarding thing, that I think, I mean, that's not something that we're particularly focused on. We're trying to empower applications to make it easy for people to get onboarded. So some of the things that we've done in that regard is obviously we've expanded the number of chains that we're supporting, the number of bridges and different providers that operate in the cross-chain space. But we're adding fiat on-ramps as well. So if it's your first time getting into crypto, you don't own anything, you download an app on your phone through iOS or Android. It happens to have Web3 functionality because the Rubic SDK is built into that application. They would be able to, use a credit or debit card to be able to purchase crypto, and then they're off to the races, right? Like we want to empower the developers to make onboarding their users work for them. So however they want to get their users onboarded, what wallets they recommend they use, that kind of thing, we're going to leave that up to each individual application itself. We just want to provide the structure behind the scenes to make full cross-chain Web3 functionality possible, again, at that application layer.
Nice. So I love that. So you're bridging like Web 2 and Web 3 and making it easy for anyone to like incorporate Web 3 backend into their apps, whatever it may be.
Absolutely, because as this sector of the tech industry grows, right, Web3 development, we're going to have a lot of people migrating over from traditional Web2 tech companies, and we want to make it easy for them to just take what they do and continue doing what they do, right? Whether it's they operate in a niche programming language environment, right? So they don't want to learn new programming languages like Solidity or Rust or anything like that. So that we take that complication out of the scenario. They can focus on building the application and servicing their users, and then with the simple integration of our SDK, it gives them all of this underlying technology that's been built by thousands of people over the last few years. So yeah, we want to hide as much of the convoluted infrastructure of Web3 from not only the users but the developers as well. And we think that that's going to be really, really key for onboarding more Web2 companies into Web3.
Great, great. Collins, I believe this is a huge use case again, because a project has to spend, I guess, a couple of months as well as a great amount of money to be able to move cross chains. So yes, this is going to be a huge use case, I would say, for Rubik. And just another question I want to ask in this regard is that Rubik works as a multi-chain bridge as well as a DEX aggregator, and it also allows cross-chain swapping. So my question is basically concerned related to the liquidity. I mean, how does the liquidity work? Like, do you guys have your own? Do you have you build your own liquidity, or do you guys use the native liquidity already available on the chains, native chains?
We are utilizing the liquidity that's available on those chains already. So we'll continue to integrate additional decentralized exchanges that have value locked on them. And we'll continue to do so across all of the networks that we support. So like NetSwap, for example, on Metis. But yeah, I mean, we're not holding any of that value ourselves, right? We're trying to decentralize it as much as possible by, again, aggregating everybody else in the space.
Nice, nice. So this seems like a great business model, where you don't have to build liquidity on your own, and you can utilize already available liquidity on other chains, and you're just making the job easier for other projects and other chains to just use your SDK and uh, just be able to use this compatibility. Prince, do you have any question? See you.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes,
go ahead.
yes, yes. I have questions. I have remarks to make. All right. Okay. Before I go forward, I just want to confirm one thing. Does Rubic also serve as a DEX where you can swap tokens on the same chain?
Oh yes, yeah, we do on chain and cross chain. Absolutely.
Okay, okay. I just had to confirm that to be able to make this remark. Like, so in summary, if I don't know if everyone is also having this thought with me, Rubik is about to take out a lot of projects out of jobs. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say that, right? Like we're not trying to compete with
that.
other DEX providers and bridge providers in the space. We're trying to
Mm,
make it so that we're empowering everybody by bridging everybody together. So one of
yeah.
the things that we've realized, right, is um, like Ali was saying a moment ago, is that a lot of developers spend time, they spend weeks, they spend months making their dApps interoperable across different blockchain networks. They spend all that time researching and integrating different bridges and signals and oracles and things like that. None of it's unified right now, right? So our goal is to just unify that as much as possible. Because you can kind of think of all the different blockchains right now as like their ecosystems as disconnected islands, and we're just there's buildings being built on all of them, and there's bridges here and there's bridges there. We're the one kind of making everything one system.
All right. So that remark was actually a joke, but yeah, thank you for joining because from what I understood, it's Rubik is aggregating everything. So rather than developers integrating one project at a time, you just integrate Rubik and you have access to all other projects all in one. Yeah,
Yep.
that's really really great. That's really good. Really really good. The idea is actually very great, and I mean that since no one is going to talk about it, I'm just going to talk about it. With since Rubik is aggregating everything, I think that makes it's a valid thought to make it a target for exploiters and all, because for anyone who did their due research and all, we actually found Rubik was actually let's say there was an issue, an exploit hack some time ago that actually led to the loss of funds from the exchange. So I don't know, want to hear from you. How did that actually happen, and how did Rubik handle that, and what security measures have actually been put into place? Because I mean, with a hack like that, moving forward, users would actually be worried. Like, I mean, a whole lot of with the functions and the features Rubik is offering, a whole lot of funds and liquidity are definitely going into it, considering the aggregators and everything coming together to form like a unified liquidity pot. So it just makes it a target for hack. So how was the last one? How was the hack handled, and what security measures was actually taken to curb something like that from happening again?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be happy to address that. So back in December, it was actually on Christmas Day. Um, a USDC address was whitelisted for interaction with our contracts, and that was done to make one of our partners, Bridge, operate with other aggregators. As a result of that whitelisting, the contract became compromised, and the hacker stole USDC from users who approved that from their wallets. So, our team has completed a deep investigation of the event. We can't share like too many intimate details because it's an ongoing legal investigation right now. There's like law enforcement involved with multiple different countries' law enforcement. So right now, what we've done is we've turned off our contracts. So all of the volume that's flowing through Rubic is being completed using our providers' contracts. We are in the process right now of creating new contracts for all of the networks that are currently in our ecosystem, and these contracts will be thoroughly audited, and we will put them through several bounty campaigns before we redeploy them. Furthermore, our team is even reconsidering now kind of an overhaul of the architecture of our protocol and how our smart contracts interact at the blockchain layer. So we anticipate that everything will be back up in running in full in February. That would be as soon as the new contracts are launched. But before that happens, again, we'd have to finish completing all our audits and ensure for sure that there's no potential threats that are detected. Now, as far as actions go, what Rubic has done since then, we have rearranged our development team to make it stronger. So we've reallocated people based on their strengths and weaknesses to move them into different departments within the structure of our development team, and that's we've let some people go. We've hired new ones. We have a much more rigorous and hardened requirement for developers who would like to join our ranks. So our vetting process for new employees is going to be much more strict. We are currently working on getting a security engineer, a full-time security engineer, that would be an in-house monitoring of our protocol for safety and reliability. And then to make things right, our founders are, a lot of these hacks that have happened, it was like $1.5 billion, I think, stolen over 2022 from different decentralized exchanges and bridges. And the vast majority of those, either the project said, sorry, there's nothing we can do about it, or they had massive venture capitalists come in and foot the bill for, like Wormhole, right? Got bailed out by a venture capitalist to the tune of like 300 million or 500 million. To show our community and to build trust back with them, our founders are taking their own money, their own personal funds, to reimburse our users who were affected. We've already fully reimbursed 72% of those funds, and the remaining 28% of the funds that we have not yet made whole for users who were affected. We are in close contact with them, and we are working out basically a repayment structure to get them their funds back. So obviously, this is a huge hit to our founders themselves, but I think their actions show not only their commitment but their belief in what it is that they're doing. Because, like you said, it was over $1 million in funds that were stolen. And so for them to be able to come out and do right by our community and our users, I think is a tremendous show of confidence and our desire to earn the trust of our users. So we'll continue doing internal and external research on this hack and kind of how it was exploited, how all this stuff was figured out. But again, we'll share more details as soon as like the law enforcement investigations wrap up, in different countries around the world. But again, we anticipate to launch fully back up in February, but we are taking a very cautious approach moving forward. We are going to basically expand our integrations at a slower rate because we are going to have it independently audited by at least 2 different businesses, every time we start doing new integrations. And then again, having a full-time in-house security engineer who will be doing 24/7 monitoring of the protocol.
Yeah, yeah, that's actually very cool. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right, sure. Okay. Cool. Because I mean, one of blockchain's biggest problem is security. I mean, even though we're still working towards mass adoption and also increasing security levels, these things happens. But like someone said, a wise woman said, it's not about the hack. It's actually about how it is being handled. And I think personally, the approach by the team to actually reimburse and go through the contract again and set things up all over again, auditing is actually a good sign for long term, and I think it's a good sign for bullish founders and people who are here to build for builders. So I look forward to what the team has to build. So with you saying the contracts are being audited, yes, Anthony, I see your hand up. Allow me, allow. All right. So, which you said the contracts are being audited and everything is, more like a start over from the half, trying to recover and make things right again. It sounds more like there is little to nothing actually happening on Rubic at the moment. Like, can anyone do anything, or we're just gonna wait and sit on our hands and wait till when Rubic is back on? Yeah.
Well, no, Rubic is fully. I mean, it's up and running right now. It's going through directly through all of our providers. We're not using any of our own smart contracts. We are utilizing the infrastructure of all our partners exclusively. So we don't have any of our own smart contracts currently operating, but all of the different bridge systems, all of the different integrated dexes, everything is fully functional as far as our partners are concerned and who we have integrated at the moment. So there's currently no risk to use the Rubic platform right now at all. Because any of our own contracts that could have had additional vulnerabilities, like the whitelisting of that USDC address, those have all been shut off. So if something happened to one of our providers, right? One of the bridge systems that we're currently utilizing for our cross chains functionality. Obviously, that's an issue that affected them that we don't have control over. But what we do have control over is that we can truncate that from our ecosystem immediately. So we have people on hand 24/7 to be able to shut down any particular part of our ecosystem. So if a bridge is exploited, if a certain decentralized exchange is exploited, or an entire network is exploited, we can shut that off from the rest of the ecosystem and basically quarantine it until the problem is resolved.
All right, cool. Cause I think we needed to hear that and to be sure like anyone who chooses to use Rubik at this point is not exposed to any sort of risk or to the bad contracts that were contaminated. So that's good. So whatever happens now, like all trades, all swaps, and all are rerouted to your partners, your partner bridges, and other projects, which Rubik aggregates. All right, that's nice. So I'm just gonna let Anthony speak just one more before we open it up to the audience, people who would like to speak to you, to the team, and also know more. Anthony, please shoot.
Thank you, Prince. Yeah, we're gonna open it up to the audience next, and so please request to speak if you want to get a chance to engage, share your thoughts, or ask questions with Rubik. So go ahead and start requesting now. So the last question I had as a follow up was the compromised contract made by Rubik, the Rubik team, or was it like made by an external partner that kind of compromised the rest of the Rubik system? And if it was made by Rubik, how can users be feel confident and trust that this type of thing won't happen again and that they can feel safe using Rubik?
Well, the unfortunate situation, it wasn't necessarily the contract. It was whitelisting a particular USDC address was that was what was compromised, right? So someone had basically identified that um, as a point where they could exploit it. So because we had one of our partners bridges operating with other aggregators, and then one of the demands was that this USDC address was whitelisted so that it could function properly with their smart contracts. That's where this issue cropped up, and that's why we're going to be much more meticulous and methodical as we continue to add new partner bridges and other dexes and different aggregators in the space as well. It's going to be a deep dive into each new integration to make sure that something like this is not overlooked. So it really wasn't. It wasn't like the Rubic smart contracts themselves were compromised. It was whitelisting this particular USDC address that was the issue. So, but again, moving forward, we're going to have routine audits from multiple independent projects, and then even more robust internal audits. And we'll publish those very frequently. Where we try to be as open and transparent as possible in an industry where people, are a lot of projects, they're not doxed, right? They're running under avatars and things like that. We try to be very, very transparent with our community and all of our users. We're going to continue to do so. And that is especially true for our security and the safety and reliability of Rubic itself. So, that's going to be like our main focus this year is shoring up security and making sure that we have, comprehensive training for everyone on the team, for like SecOp, like security operations, and making sure that we are doing best practices to mitigate anything internally. And then again, working with third parties extensively to ensure that everything is safe and secure.
Nice, awesome, and thanks for clarifying that. So yeah, these hackers and scammers always find innovative and clever ways to find weaknesses in smart contracts and in the blockchain world. And so, but yeah, it's good to hear about the next defensive steps that you're taking for the future. And it's unfortunate that these things happen, and any project is vulnerable to these types of events. And um, if it happens once to a project, it doesn't automatically mean to throw that project away or throw those developers away, or that team away, because it can happen to anybody. These guys are very innovative, and so it's that's why we wanted to give a chance for you to explain, like, what happened and what the steps are moving forward. So thanks for breaking that down. And so we have one community member who came up and requested to speak. Wacos Raza, at least that's how we say it in Spanish, Raza. Go ahead. If you have any questions or anything to say, floor is yours.
Hello everyone. Good evening and good night where you are from. My question is about Rubic widget. Could you explain about it? Hello, can you listen me?
Yes, Vakas, we can hear you. Can you please repeat the
Yeah.
question?
I want to know about the Rubic widget. What we can do with it. I want to know about that.
Okay,
Yeah, absolutely. So Rubik's Widget is a solution for those who want to make their projects tokens available easily to their community and to make their project interoperable with other chains to access the purchase of their tokens. So it enables users to buy and sell tokens without leaving like your project's website. It's a simple line of code. Again, it connects to the full protocol itself, right? So we've got the 26 blockchains, the 15,500 tokens, and sourcing over the 90 dexes and bridges. And pretty soon, like I said, we'll have fiat on ramp integrated into that as well. For people that integrate the widget, you can get a percentage of any cross chain fees that may happen to incur when people use it. Um, we we've made it like customizable as well, so it's not like an iframe widget; it's like our own custom widget, and people can get that up and running on their website like seriously within minutes. We've worked with people who got it up and running in just minutes. And this is again great for newly launched projects with new tokens, and that they want to get out into the hands of their community without forcing people to this decentralized exchange or that decentralized exchange. And again, that somebody wants to purchase a token, they can do so with tokens from other networks as well. So it's really just a convenience factor for projects to be able to get their tokens into the hands of people that they want. But we could definitely see it being used in other ways as well for particular projects that are trying to seek donations and things like that, because we do have the capacity to enter a destination wallet address. So, it could be used for fundraising and things like that as well. Now the widget itself, the functionality, the average swap, same as like the Rubic platform itself. Cross chain takes about 90 seconds. On chain swaps, it depends on the chain, but seconds. Like single digit seconds, sometimes up into like the 20-30 second range. But again, depends on the chain and the current network congestion. And then it also has the other features that the greater Rubic platform has as well. So no transaction limits. There's an auto refund function if slippage was too high, if the price of whatever it was you were buying fell outside of the slippage range, we'll automatically refund your tokens back to you. And again, all of it can be done in one click. So you connect your wallet, you would select the token that you want, or if a project, they can lock it in so you can only buy their token through the widget that we provide them, and then you just select the network that you're on, the tokens that you have, and make the swap.
Nice, nice. Thank you, Collins, for such detailed answer, and thank you, Vakas, for joining in and giving us your valuable questions. We look forward to other questions from other community members as well. If you have any questions, please feel free to come up, and we would love to have you on board. And you can ask all your questions directly from the Rubik team. And also, I appreciate Prince and Anthony for taking up the safety regarding the Rubik app. I understand that these may not be easy questions, and we do not want to make our guest uncozy. But the purpose of this space basically is to create awareness about from all aspects about the new project, so that all Metis users and Metisans who would want to vote on the specific project know everything in detail, and so that they can make their decision. And for us, for Metis, decentralization matters, and we uh, we basically want to hear what our community says. So that's all I just wanted to say. Just a quick question I have for Collins is that you have what if I'm right, I think you guys have recently partnered with the NetSwap, integrated with them. Do you have any plans to integrate with any other aggregators or the BTC ecosystem? Like there's some other great aggregators as well, like Hira, and others.
Like who?
Like Hira, we have Hira aggregator on
Hmm.
Metis. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you have any plans on integrating with other aggregators on the Metis ecosystem?
Yes, absolutely. Our goal is to expand our support for L2 chains this year. So we will continue to increase support for each of the particular blockchain networks that are currently in our ecosystem. Again, though, with the things that have happened recently, we are going to be much more thorough and methodical and calculated as we bring new pieces into our ecosystem, right? Like new providers, new aggregators, new bridges. We're going to be much more meticulous moving forward with how we're securing our technology. So, having a high level of security is one of, if not the highest priority for Rubic right now. So yeah, we'll definitely continue to support Metis and integrate additional technology and providers that are operating inside the Metis ecosystem. It will just be a process over the course of 2023 for us to expand that. I don't have any timelines or anything right now on specific integrations, but we absolutely plan to continue supporting all of our current partners.
Nice.
Cool. Sorry, before Anthony just takes the mic away from me. Guys, feel free to request the mic. Like I always say, to come into space, we encourage and we always love to hear everyone, both in the Metis ecosystem and outside, come speak. I'm pretty sure you've been listening. You've probably gone through the proposal on candidate, so feel free to come. Ask your questions. Probably you are going through their doc and you don't understand one or two things. I mean, you have Collins here to answer all your questions without fear. So feel free. This is more like I don't know for you, but for me, this has always been like one of my best DYOR places. I mean, rather than go through the project doc, no, I just come and ask Collins, and he's going to tell me everything I need live. Why do I have to go through the docs again? So guys, feel free. So far for me, I think Rubic so far I have the potential to do well. Personally, in my opinion, with what they have so far, since they're aggregating everything, I mean, they look to me they look really really good for the long term. And come looking at how they've handled the setbacks, I'll call it setbacks, which they had of recent, and moving forward, I think they are project I should keep a tab on. So guys, feel free to come request the mic, ask your questions while we're still passing the mics around ourselves here. Feel free to ask the question. So before I go, I don't know if Anthony have a question. I should go first because I actually had one question to add. Anthony, you want to go first?
No, I was just gonna ask a kind of like a final question. So if you had anything, go for it, and I'll go after.
All right, thank you, sir. So one last thing. Personally, for me, I like to have a little bag of almost every token on the Metis eco because I believe on everything Metis. So I don't know, is there a token for Rubic Exchange, and also what's the token utility? In summary, what should I know about the token? Where can I get it? What is the token used for? How does it add value to the Rubic Exchange on itself?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. So we have a token. The token is RBC. It is currently available as an ERC20, both on the Ethereum network and also on BNB chain. It's available in a number of different places. It is on decentralized exchanges like Uniswap, and also Pancake Swap. But we're also on some centralized exchanges as well. So we have Kraken, Gate.io, Probit, MEXC. I think I'm forgetting one right now, but we're going to continue to work with different centralized exchanges for additional listings. and we hope to have more information to share with our community as we progress through the first part of 2023. As for token utility, so obviously standard is governance, right? Our token holders can participate in decision making. And they'll also be able to, we've created like a Rubic DAO, and we'll have more information to share with our community on that throughout Q1 and Q2 of this year as well, where they can, interact and vote on grant programs for people integrating our SDK and things like that. We will be doing our SDK by providing subscription and integration service fees for different projects that need help getting on board with integrating the SDK into their application. So those fees would be charged in RBC to the people that are looking to integrate us, and then again they would get that full robust support. And then if you as an individual hold RBC tokens, you can exempt yourself basically from fees for doing any cross-chain swapping through our protocol itself. And then, we're going to have airdrops and things like that for different users and different partners as well over the course of this year and next, and probably beyond as well. But we did do a new version of our RBC token recently, is to basically account for being able to have growth for the platform and the ecosystem as a whole.
Is Rubic is Colin still speaking, or it's only me who cannot hear him?
Oh, go ahead, Colin.
Oh no, I was just saying. I hope you all could hear that. I was talking for the last few minutes.
Yeah, I heard. I don't know if you heard, Prince. He just finished his answer to your question.
Oh, it was just I think just the last 3-4 seconds I didn't get. Well, that's all right. I'll just listen to the recording.
For sure.
Just go on,
Yeah,
please.
for sure. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, the recording. For those who weren't here today, or if you want to re-listen, you can find this recording on all the channels that have posted this space link. And we also post it on our YouTube channel, the Metis Ambassadors YouTube channel. So you can always go back and turn on the YouTube video. It'll be shared. I'll share the link to the Metis Ambassadors channel on the little dashboard for the space so people can access it. Or I'll throw it in the comments actually. But yeah, so thanks. It's exciting to hear about the DAO that Rubic is building and the token that the token will have governance over. That's pretty cool. And so I think we'll close it out with. I saw that Rubic did some recent rebranding. And so maybe if you can tell us more about what the strategy is behind this rebranding and what we can expect with Rubic's new brand, and then if you want to close this out with any final thoughts after that.
Yeah, sure. So we have a new logo. It's not too different from our last logo, but we and our community like the new look. We did a lot of focus group testing and things like that. So our new branding is for an emphasis on business to business for developers who are new to Web3, or looking to expand their reach in the Web3 space if they are already developing decentralized applications. And so again, that's to enable them to come into the space and continue building what they've already been building without having to worry about how they can fit their application into the broader multi-chain landscape. Simply find the blockchain network that works best for them, build it, and integrate our SDK. So the rebranding that we've done has a real emphasis on that business-to-business approach. You see that reflected in the Rubic.exchange website itself. Front and center is we you either launch our app or you can start building, which will take you to our documentation. And then we also have an entire section for both our SDK and our widget to help developers get started with integrating the solutions that we provide for their website or for their applications itself. So that's really kind of what the main scope of the rebrand is. It's to give it a little more of a clean, fresh look, and again with an emphasis on business to business, and eventually attract some of the biggest names in industries around the world is the goal.
Nice. Sounds like an exciting strategy and future for Rubic, and I wish you all the best. And thanks for taking the time to speak with us today, and addressing even like hard questions about the recent hack and everything. Like Ali and Princess said, we want to make sure that our community is safe and secure when using any product, any verifying a project onto our network. So. Thanks for being open with us, and thanks for answering all our questions. We appreciate everybody who's attended. And I guess if there's any last words for you, Colin, on about Rubic, this would be a chance, and then we can just close it up.
Yeah, I'd like to take the chance to reiterate that using Rubic is 100% safe and secure. We are operating through our partnered projects right now, utilizing their backend infrastructure to perform both on-chain and cross-chain swaps. Before we reintroduce any of our own smart contracts, everything will be extensively tested and will be thoroughly open and transparent with our community and with all of our partners. So again, completely safe to use Rubic right now. We have 50,000 plus users on a monthly basis. And we haven't seen a decline in users or use for the platform since that particular hack has happened. So that's very refreshing. Nor have we had anybody behind the scenes, express displeasure. Everyone's been very supportive. I feel like some things like this are almost like a rite of passage in this industry. Anybody involved in the DeFi space that has had any type of impact, I feel like, has been hacked over the last 24 to 30 months. And now we can consider ourselves among that crowd. So obviously we don't want to add any more negative press to what it is we're trying to do, because we're really focused on building a solution that enables people to get into Web3 easy and then operate within Web3 easy. That's the only way we're going to get people onboarded by the hundreds of millions. And so recognizing that, we're trying to build this comprehensive tech suite for developers to be able to just focus on building their applications and supporting their customers while all of that Web3 tech operates behind the scenes. So thank you all so very much for having me on. I really appreciated it. I appreciate the questions about the hack and the safety and security, because that is something that we are prioritizing above anything else right now. And so we really want to get out in front of it and let people know that we're serious about this. We're not deterred. We're even more committed now to seeing this through. And we all think that 2023 is going to be a bright year for us. It's going to be a building year. And I personally look forward to sharing a lot of great news coming down the pipe with the rest of our community.
Awesome. Thank you. And I guess actually one last final question on our way out.
Sure.
There was a question in our forum, and the asker is actually in the audience, Benjamin. It seemed that the Metis network wasn't operating yet on the Rubic app. So I'm wondering if it's can we use the Metis network on Rubic right now, or is there some delay, or is there a timeline?
The actual current status as of like this moment may be under. It may have been paused. That would be a question that I would have to consult with the dev team, because we're trying to bring things back online in a way that obviously, again, is ensuring safety and security above everything else. So if one of the providers that we were using to connect to the Metis network, for whatever reason, is currently turned off, that could be the reason why. Because again, we have the ability to shut off any bridge, or any decks, or even any network connected in our ecosystem, and we're slowly bringing everything back up online. Like we went from 26 chains down to about 9 or 10 when we initially shut everything off, and we've been slowly reintegrating everything through our partners, and their smart contracts to bring it all back online. So again, by February, sometime in February, is when we expect everything to be back in full, and that would include full Metis cross-chain functionality as well. But I don't know the exact status of the network. Some things have been brought down for a day or two and then brought back online, as we do investigative research on different aspects of security. So.
Okay, cool. Thanks for letting us know. And thank you everybody for joining us. This was a really great AMA. On the first tweet that's pinned on the dashboard in our space, if you click on it, it'll take you to it'll take you to a link for the Candidac forum where you can read more. If you still have more questions, you can ask there. Rubic has been very prompt with responding to questions. And then over the weekend, the voting will open up, and that'll be posted on the Metis governance channel. So please look out for that. Make your decision, and yeah, and thank you everybody for joining.
Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it, Anthony, Ali, Prince. It was a pleasure talking to you all today. Thank you for having me on, and I'd love to come on again sometime in the future to talk to you all as we have more developments.
Definitely. And the Metis governance account, just go ahead.
Hi guys, it's Nat from CG from Metis. Just wanted to jump in and thanks everyone for great spaces. Really, really well done. Great questions, fantastic answers, Colin. Well done. And just wanted to let you know that voting is actually live now. I'll be sharing the link shortly, so go ahead and start voting.
Nice. Thank you. Let's do it. All right, everybody. See you later.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Collins, and thank you to my amazing co-host. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.